I stand corrected. Yep, I was wrong. This is how it started.
Good afternoon, Michiganders. As the president said, we just had a positive meeting with President Trump. We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace. He promises peace, not war. We are supporting Donald Trump because he promised to end war in the Middle East and Ukraine. The bloodshed has to stop all over the world, and I think this man can make that happen. I personally believe that God saved his life twice for a reason. I believe personally that God has saved his life for a reason, which is to save the lives of others.
6 months later.
Good evening. We are coming on the air with breaking news from the White House. President Trump posting on his Truth social media platform just moments ago, the U.S. has completed a, quote, very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites inside Iran. The president saying that all U.S. planes are now outside of Iranian airspace. Let's go directly to what the president has just posted on his social media site. We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Efeshan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. The president continues to state, congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. In caps, now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. This all comes after a week of back and forth strikes between Israel and Iran after Israel hit key targets related to Iran's nuclear program. Tonight's news has major implications for American foreign policy, with the U.S. now directly involved with the conflict between Israel and Iran.
Yep, the United States is now directly involved in the conflict between Iran and Israel. I stand corrected. I thought Donald Trump was doing his same old 2-week spiel as he has done repeatedly in the past. Whenever he's confronted with a policy or a plan that he has no intention of implementing, he'll say, we'll have something in 2 more weeks. Well, when asked about whether or not the United States was going to get involved with the Iran and Israel conflict, he said, I should have something in 2 more weeks. Sent his press secretary out to say, 2 more weeks. Come to find out, late yesterday, Donald Trump made an announcement that he has now taken sides with Israel and we are now involved in a war. Here's his post if you want to take a screenshot and post it onto your social media platforms with your own commentary. It reads, we have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He gets involved with another country to bomb another country who posed no imminent threat to the United States. That is against our Constitution. And yet he says, now is the time for peace. Child, I can't. It is being reported that Iran has responded and basically said to Donald Trump in the United States, you started this and we will finish it. It is also being reported that the 3 sites that Donald Trump targeted, the 3 sites where they're supposed to have all of this nuclear stockpile and all of this equipment and personnel, those sites were evacuated and the equipment, the stockpiles were moved. This right here is a viral post, and I got it from the Midas Touch. Iran state TV reported that the country had evacuated personnel from the 3 nuclear sites in advance. According to the broadcaster's political deputy, Iran had relocated its nuclear stockpiles from those sites to secure locations. I think we also need to start calling Donald Trump can't get right, because in a lot of things that he sets out to do, it ain't never right. But I specifically remembered one woman that warned everybody of Donald Trump's mental state. She told us repeatedly that she knew Donald Trump's type.
Tweeting out, this bravado about, lock and loaded. What does that mean? Okay, and also,
well, it's an implicit military threat. The
yes,
U.S.
it is.
is going
Yes,
to,
it is.
We're going
Yes,
to
it is. Yes, it is. And again, listen. As far as I'm concerned, this president is motivated by his personal insecurities more than he is our national security. If this president is thinking about putting us in a position where we're in a war with Iran, the consequences will be absolutely unacceptable and tragic in terms of the young men and women who are American soldiers who would be sent and deployed into something that was completely avoidable. In a Harris administration, we wouldn't have gotten ourselves into this mess. I do not believe that the current president of the United States is working in the best interest of the people of this country. I have good reason, based on everything we know publicly, to suspect and to be concerned that his motivation is more out of self-interest than it is the interest of the American people. I'm traveling our country and meeting with the families who are sending their sons and daughters to these endless wars. And this president better take very seriously any threat that he makes to enter us into another war and send our young men and women into battle.
But no, they didn't want to vote for the competent black lady, the experienced black lady. They didn't want to vote for her. Anywho, now there's more division between the MAGA nut movement, but I suspect most of them will eventually fall in line and get in lockstep with Donald Trump. You can't trust them to do the right thing. Although I did come across a video where somebody was burning their MAGA nut hat. Yeah, excuse me if I don't give a fuck. Anywho, even though you've got some MAGA nuts that are pissed off with Donald Trump and claiming to leave the party and are vowing to vote Democrat and burning their hats and all of that stuff, you got one individual that's very happy with the steps that Donald Trump has taken.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United
First comes strength, then comes peace. I just want you to know this strength period, they are talking like it's over. It's not over. I saw out there on social media that Yemen is now getting involved. We've been seeing all over social media how U.S. soldiers have been fattened up and fed steak and lobster. You know, that meal before they ship you off to your death. I'm seeing chatter out there amongst the social media streets where the United States is informing U.S. troops about possible repercussions for what they've done. States all across the country, blue and red, are arming up their local police departments, telling all of us to keep our eyes and ears open for sleeper cells throughout the country. Yeah, peace through strength. If you're thinking like I'm thinking, we've got a lot more of death, destruction, and turmoil to go through as a result of these numbskulls' strength. It'll be a while before we see peace. With that said, I want Iran to know that these are the knuckleheads that you are looking for. These are the knuckleheads that you are looking for. That is Donald Trump, the President of the United States. That is Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State. That is J.D. Vance, Vice President. And that is Pete Hegseth, the ill-equipped, the DUI head of our Department of Defense. To the leaders of Iran, leave black people out of this. Us African Americans, us black Americans who are over here dealing with these numbskulls, leave us out of it. We overwhelmingly voted against these people because we knew that they were all incompetent. We knew it. So when you start doing whatever it is that you are planning to do, yeah, just leave us out of it. Here's the breakdown, Iran. This is the breakdown. You see how black people voted? We voted against this. So again, please and thank you, leave us out of it. Before I head out, Congress, what are you prepared to do? I mean, Donald Trump has been violating the Constitution since January 20th. But this right here, this is glaring. He broke the law, he violated the Constitution, and he has put the United States into a war that we ain't got nothing to do with. There was no imminent threat. Congress, what are you prepared to do? It's clear to me that there is some backhanded deal happening between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. Because for years, Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying that Iran is just about there in creating a nuclear weapon. Check this out.
The deadline for attaining this goal is getting extremely close. And Iran, by the way, is also outpacing Iraq in the development of ballistic missile systems that they hope will reach the eastern seaboard of the United States within 15 years. By next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment.
That's 2012.
And move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. The foremost sponsor of global terrorism
2015
could be weeks away from having enough enriched uranium for an entire arsenal of nuclear weapons. That would place a militant Islamic terror regime weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year.
every year For years, Benjamin Netanyahu has been trying to get the United States involved in a war with Iran and Iraq. And every single presidency was like, nah, we not doing that. And then we get Donald Trump. And I remember when Donald Trump made posts out on social media running his big fat mouth that let us know that he was in communications with Benjamin Netanyahu and he wasn't the president of the United States. He was in conversation while Donald Trump was out there on the campaign trail. I remember when, while Donald Trump was on the campaign trail, Benjamin Netanyahu made a visit to Mar-a-Lago and they had meetings. It was him and his wife that visited Mar-a-Lago. Wonder what they were discussing. What deals were they making? I wonder what Benjamin Netanyahu promised Donald Trump, because we know that in any of Donald Trump's decision-making, the United States of America as a whole, the people of the United States, the American citizen, they are not a factor in his decision-making. He's transactional. He's worried about what he personally is going to get or what his family is going to get. We already know that Jared Kushner had his eyes set on Gaza, said it was prime beachfront property. And then, not too long after Donald Trump was sworn in, he put this out.
Here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one.
But they tried to tell us that Donald Trump promised peace. We told them over and over and over again, you can't trust him. He doesn't care about you. You can't trust him. He's a liar. He's a felon. He's only thinking about his pockets. Whatever deal he made with Benjamin Netanyahu, it didn't compare to whatever deal he made with you. And now, here we are.
Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one.